Hi everyone. It's a little bit awkward, but this just needs to be addressed before we get into the video. So, to preface, this video was originally recorded back in May, and it was intended to go up earlier this month. The day that it was intended to go up was also the same day as the KyoAni fire, so I pulled the upload and removed it entirely because I needed to add to it, and here we are. The purpose of the video was just to be entertaining and to give you guys a little bit of perspective from a swimmer, an actual swimmer. I swam for 15 years, and I thought, yeah, you know what? I could give my opinion on some of this. And my girlfriend, she very much loves free, and I don't care for sports anime. I don't really care for too much anime anymore. But the thing is, though, is that regardless if you're a big anime fan or not, you've probably seen something from KyoAni. And I feel horrible saying some of the stuff that I did, considering that some of the people I might have picked on or said something about their work might not be with us anymore. So I just want you all to know this isn't me trying to hate on those people or knock them down, especially after everything that's happened. It's just there to give you a little bit of entertainment and, you know, just give you my perspective as a swimmer when it comes to stuff from free. I'd also really like it if you guys can go check this link right here and support KyoAni. Sentai Filmworks put up a great GoFundMe. They've blown past their goal, but every little bit of money is going to help. A lot of lives were lost. A lot of work was lost. And it's just one of those situations where I think it's a good idea for us to all pull in as much as we can. I already dropped 100 on them because of how bad I felt about this whole situation, and I still wanted to give you guys this video too. So go into this video knowing that this happened well before everything happened at KyoAni, and it's not made in a mean spirit. It was just made to be entertaining. And to all those people affected, I'm so sorry. I really truly am. Arson's terrible, and it's even worse when people are hurt because of it. And I just can't fathom that kind of evil. I really can't. Nobody deserves to get killed over their work, unless their work is to purposely hurt people. And that was not what KyoAni did. They made things to help people, inspire people, and make people happy. Sure, it's a bunch of moe stuff, but even I could tell that there's some value to it. A lot of value to it. And a lot of people care about them. So again, go check out the GoFundMe, help them out, and I hope you can forgive my attitude through some of this video. Thank you so much for understanding. See ya.
Why did you sit me here? What are we doing?
Well, I figured, it's been a while since we've watched anime. Usually we watch Kamen Rider or Super Sentai.
Yeah, because anime kind of sucks nowadays.
But, you know what doesn't suck? That guy. You like him, right?
Can't like him, he's a robot. But yes, I like the robot.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Well, I figured,
Don't use pronouns with him, he's a fucking robot. It's not even a robot, he's a suit. Technically, it's a fighter.
Well, I mean,
Okay, I'll shut up, let's just watch it. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. I'm down. Ding. Yeah. They're frying in the sky. Oh, shit. Why do you want to watch G Gundam? Well, it got you inspired to actually start this finally. I've been trying to get you to watch this for years.
Yeah, well, I wasn't a big fan of the manga, but,
Well, the manga, I mean, the manga's bullshit, and it's much separate. This isn't the intro. No! This is... What'd you do?
Okay, so...
No!
Let me explain.
You...
Let me explain. So, I had a wonderful video idea.
A wonderful video idea. Let me take his favorite anime intro and just, like, cut it with this other thing to trick him into watching this abomination.
I knew it.
No, I know why you wanted to make this video now. Okay, this is what you want to do so badly. All right.
Well, let me explain to the viewers why this is as poetic as it is. For those who don't know, Dustin, in another life, was a swimmer. He actually also taught swimming. He was a swim coach, and he also swam competitively
15 years.
A lot of his years in school and some thereafter.
That's not even a joke about the 15 years thing either. Like, straight up Grandpa Pickles, 15 years! Like, and I was a coach for about 6 years.
What kind of kids did you teach? What age group?
Oh, 4-year-olds to 18-year-olds.
So all kinds of,
Yeah.
all different kinds of skill levels.
Yeah, and all kinds of fucking attitudes.
Well, when this anime, for those who don't know, is called Free. It's what kind of started the sports anime trend that went on for several years.
Oh yeah, started the sports anime trend. Totally wasn't like, Slam Dunk or Prince of Tennis or
right
Ice Shield
after
21
this
or
came
any of
out,
those.
we got the volleyball thing, we got the tennis thing. I think there was a tennis thing. There was a bike riding.
Way
thing.
to
Anyway.
mash sports in my nerd channel.
Well, I thought it would be interesting because you see all these videos these days that, have, a real lawyer reacts to, a law show, or, you get the doctors that react to Doctor Strange and other Marvel movies. Would you put that?
What? This idea stinks!
But when the Free anime first came out in 2013, I watched it. I didn't know him yet, but when we first started dating, that was when season 2 came out, and he strongly advised me not to watch it around him because he would get very angry, and that he didn't like that there was a swimming anime a whole lot. So he's never seen it. I've seen the first 2 seasons, and then I dropped off because Kamen Rider was better. Are you trying to remain relevant on your own channel?
Yes! I can't do this to the fans. This is an SIC Kamen Rider Deno figure.
So the way that we're gonna start this off is you're gonna get a basic introduction of each character. I'm gonna tell you what their specialty is as we go along. Okay? Great. We're going. What's wrong there?
Stop.
Tell me what's going on.
All right. First off, dude's going kind of like janky with his hands. Just white dude blade it. Like not even white dude blade it. Just straight up like boy. That's pretty much all you need. Is like just keep it straight. Try not to go this way, not straight that way. Just thrusting your hand into the water. If you're doing it right, you should glide it into the water, not thrust it right into the water. The last thing too is that when he was swimming, he's kind of swimming like really flat, not rotating like enough like at all. When you're doing freestyle in a long axis thing, you really want to be in a nice rotation, and he's not like rotating at all. The next thing too is that his front he's like crossing over in front of his face when they just need to come out. Just go out. Just go out. Just go out. Don't cross in front of yourself. Don't cross in front of yourself. Just go out. Didn't he touch kids?
No.
Oh, that's just
that's the English version. We don't talk about that here.
Absolutely disgusting.
Ew! What's that called when they're down in the water?
Those are underwater pullets, but that's for breaststroke. That has nothing to do with freestyle. Yo, can we stop? Those turns are god awful.
Yeah.
And even worse is like seeing how they're doing their arms. When you do your arms when you're doing freestyle, you want to rotate, and when you rotate, your elbow should come up really, really high, and it should be just enough for you to rotate your shoulder forward so you can glide your fingers in, like I was saying earlier. These guys are just like doing choppy elbows, which is just like. Don't even get me started on those turns. When you do flip turns, you want to hit the wall with your feet a little bit less than shoulder width apart and go. You don't want to put your feet on the wall and dance in a little circle and then push off. That's amateur. That's pure amateur. There's nothing cool about swimming. No, you don't. There's no rumors in swimming. Usually you can just see the results. Google it. Okay, pause it. You don't get to pick who gets to be on your relay. Usually your coaches do. So if you suck, you suck, and you're on the B or C relay. Deal.
So you see what this kid's saying here. That's Haruka. He's the main character.
Oh.
His whole thing throughout the whole series is that he only does freestyle. Is that common for someone to only do?
No, they make us practice everything because it makes you, no matter which way you're swimming, you're always using those muscles. They get used in different ways as you do different motions, but for the most part, no. Like if you could train to be a freestyler, but it doesn't mean you aren't going to practice to do other things like backstroke or breaststroke or butterfly here or there.
That is Makoto. He is the best friend character.
Once he dies.
No, nobody dies. He is the backstroker. Haruka is the freestyler. He's the backstroke.
Usually if a pool is going to get torn down, we never wanted to go back because, yeah, it looked like oh, wow. Looks like a Pullman Park used to before they upgraded it.
Yeah. I even went to Pullman Park as a kid. It's a local park.
There's another pool called Chandler North. Oh my god, that pool is gross. Also, the guy that ran that had a lot in common with the red-haired guy's voice actor.
Oh my god.
What? Are we?
Everything we show has
Ew! That finish was garbo!
See?
Stop. When you do two-hand touches, don't go in like flat-handed, okay? I'm gonna give you a quick lesson. This is gonna be the dumbest lesson ever, alright?
Okay.
Put up your hand, okay? Just flat, okay? This is the wall. This is the thing you're going to be touching, okay? So if you're going to be going into the wall and you want to have the fastest time ever, would it be more logical to go in like this and high-five the wall? Or would it be more smart to come into the wall and just touch it with the tip of your finger? Oh man, there's a lot more distance covered when you put your hand sideways. So that guy probably could have shaved an easy millisecond off of his time. Pause it. None of us like us this much. I don't think any of us would even remotely want to hang out with each other after that.
Whoa, it's that guy from that place. So basically the TLDR is that he went and studied abroad. He's so serious about becoming an Olympic swimmer that he studied abroad in Australia for several years, and this is the first time they've seen him in a long time. But now he's like super cool because he studied across the country. They just said they're gonna race and you missed it because you put your head down like casting. If you wait for 2 seconds, you'll get to it.
How long has it been since the pool's been shut down? That thing might be gross. There's a reason why the water's black. Don't. Also, you guys are just wearing your swimsuits under your regular clothes? Are you guys insane? Good lord, I've done that like maybe once, and that's because I forgot my underwear for that day, and like that hurt. That's a pain. Don't ever do that. Also, dog, why are you wearing a full leg suit like right? Homie, where'd you pull your goggles out of? Dude, what the fuck is happening here? Nobody does this. Who does this? Do it! Jump!
So right now they're trying to find a fourth person for their swim club because they need a minimum of 4 people.
So they got a track guy?
Yeah.
It's actually not too far-fetched. Pause that, I get to explain this a little bit. So, swimming's an aerobic exercise, and the same thing with track and field and all that stuff. It's an aerobic exercise because you're constantly taking air as you're working it. Essentially, I've seen people that do long-distance track excel at swimming, and oddly enough at sprinting, not ever long-distance swimming. Usually they die like hell if they go more than 200 yards, 200 meters.
Well, it's interesting you say that because this guy doesn't end up feeling that way.
Oh, he just ends up sucking?
You'll see.
It's Camille. Oh, it is Gundam. Actually having good delts. It's good for swimming.
So he's very.
Oh, you dork.
He's very numbers oriented.
Is he gonna hit his ding ding? I like those videos where pole vaulters hit their ding ding on the way down.
No, he actually does very well. But he's not going to be doing very well for the rest of this video, I promise.
Nobody will get you to swim for them because they think you swim pretty or do whatever pretty. Technique is good and it's important, but oh my god, nobody gives that much of a damn. No. No. I mean, you can, but...
They're having a joint practice with another school. Is that something that's common?
Sometimes you'll do joint practices with other swim clubs, but usually that's because of a scheduling error at the pool. And both places need to get the practice in, but both of them also don't want to kick each other out because that's rude. Oh, thank God we're actually swimming. Yeah, that. If you didn't bring your swimsuit to swim practice, you better go home and get it, and you better be back as soon as you can. And if you aren't back as soon as you can, you might as well just stay where you are. And if you miss practice and you really pissed off your coach, depending on how the thing goes, you might end up doing the yesterday's set, and the next one might be easier for all your buddies, so they get out earlier, and then you have to stay even longer, because then they'll make you do the set that you're supposed to do that day. He gonna die. Where are all the girls?
There's no girl swimmers in this one.
Huh?
That's all. Do you think girls are gonna want to look at girl packs? No, they want to look at boy packs.
Oh, well, swim teams usually we swim with each other. That's just a dumb turning mechanic, God.
It's just a trial.
Just a time trial, man.
Okay.
Way to show everyone how you do. It's gonna drown. Yeah, okay, he dives like a 3-year-old. Yeah, okay, I've seen that a lot. I know exactly what he's doing. And he's thinking, somebody go get him. Somebody go get him. I mean, he should have known sooner than that. Like, if he wasn't up that fast, like, come on. Nobody would do this. If you can't swim, you're not going to be on the swim team. They always try to figure out if you can swim or not before you start swimming. Also, they're using arena swimsuits. Those are pretty good suits. They are really, really stylish, but like for the most part, like they're not bad. But I still prefer Speedo. I had Nike for a while. Can't decide what suit. No, nobody gives a oh, I had one of my friends wearing a trash bag one day.
Oh my god.
Forgot his drag suit, so he wore that. It worked. While you're screaming when you know nobody can hear you under the water.
What's that look like?
Okay, warm up 500 choice, so 500 yard choice, whatever. Then 10 50s individual medley choice. How do you do a 50 individual medley? That doesn't make any sense. Whatever. It's a dumb start. All right, swim. 12 100s 1 through 3 easy to hard, and then 4 through 6 is just hard, and then I guess you repeat that twice. Okay. I mean, is that the whole? Is that the whole practice?
It's their warm-ups.
That whole thing was warm up. Oh, okay, they're kicking. Yeah, but they had IM. Why didn't they have IM when this doesn't? Yeah, front crawl, you Nimrod. What the hell are you talking about? Also, like, usually if they were bad, they would not come back.
Well, I guess he's determined. That guy doubts him like hell.
Okay, that's better. Still needs to lean forward more, but he's getting there. Okay, it's a start. It's a start. Also, he's like fluttering his knees, so he's not actually kicking to move himself forward. So that's why his hips. Plus, he's rotating his hips. Your hips and your shoulders are attached. You want to rotate. So, I mean, like, I can't be too mad. It's progress. Why is he doing that? Whenever we would do it, we just float on our stomach.
Maybe that's the Japanese way they do it.
He's tightening up his muscles, so he's sinking. If you're in the water and you're worried about sinking, don't tighten up your muscles. Try not to stress yourself. The more you tighten up and the more you like really tighten and stress, you will sink. If you chill out and you keep breathing really well and keep oxygenating your blood, you'll float better. Don't die.
So. Don't die. How possible do you think that is?
Totally possible.
Totally
I've seen 4-year-olds go from not being able to float in the water to being able to go down and back in the pool by themselves.
Okay.
In a week.
So you think that this is doable?
It's completely doable, but the problem is that he already has preconceptions and already has an idea of certain things instead of having a child that doesn't know what the hell is anything, which you could easily mold versus fighting against something that's already been sculpted.
That makes a lot of sense.
See, he already doesn't think he can do it either. That's the other problem. Little kids, they don't know if they can do it or not, so they're just like, let's find out. And then you just keep encouraging it until they do it. God, I hate these types. Okay, he's pulling his knees too far apart, and he wants to tuck his toes around more. He's gonna die. Yeah. He's tightening up too much. And he's got like no instinct to breathe either, which is like breaststroke. It's like you get a breath every stroke, dude. What the hell? He has his chin tucked too high up. He's gonna sink. His butt's gonna go down. And he's going. Called it. Yep. When you do backstroke, you want to have your head back, or else you're gonna sink like that. The further you have your head back, the better. But if you go too far back, you will kind of screw yourself up. So you want to have like a nice middle ground of having your chin up, but chin up not enough to drown yourself, and chin down not enough to sink yourself.
Well, we'll see. Maybe he gets a turnaround soon.
Dude, I feel that. No, let him be that way. Because his parents didn't pay for him to get lessons when they should have got him lessons very early in life so he can build a fundamental knowledge of what the hell the water feels like and knows how to move. You know those classes where they throw babies in water? They ain't stupid.
Instinct.
Yes. And also it's funny to watch a baby flip over and be like, I'm good. With his fucking swimsuit. whole body. Has nothing to do with this swimsuit. That's actually one of the better ones to be wearing, especially for breaststroke. Alright, so we have those other suits, and everyone thinks it's to make us, like, you know, faster, and it kind of makes you faster. What it does is it slims down your body, and it's like a compression suit, essentially. But, so it gives your body a much more sleek kind of seal to it, plus it also makes you a little bit more buoyant because you're holding in all your everything into that tiny little sleeve. They're hard to move around in, though. I actually had a picture of me in one. I'm editing this one, aren't I?
Editor Dustin, put it up here.
Oh, I guess I'm editing. Here I am, back when I was in my best. Yeah. Anyways, so yeah, they can be faster, but ultimately, it really doesn't matter. It comes down to you. So you could be wearing a brief, and you can still really, really, really win. I actually met Michael Phelps and tried to say hi, and he told me to go myself, and I was like.
Dustin doesn't like Dustin.
I was like 12 and a half. Yeah, no, Dustin doesn't like Dustin, but Dustin doesn't like Phelps even more than Dustin.
Dustin doesn't like Michael Phelps.
Okay.
Swimsuit buying time.
Okay, buying suits is a pain in the ass, but ultimately, once you know your size, you just gotta find a style you like and go with it. They really don't matter. Ones I used to like wearing, the Aquablade. So Aquablades, those were my favorite from Speedo for a long time, and then they had these other ones that came in. I forget the name of them. Faskins, I think is what we called them. Faskin 1 and Faskin 2. Yeah, Faskin 2s were the ones we used the most. They had these little silicone rubber things on the front of it that would break up the water so it would go against the fabric in a certain way that would streamline it. Aquablade did the same thing. It had like a helix effect to it. Again, doesn't really matter. It comes down to your personal style. But when it comes to goggles, though, oh my god, I can fight for days. Personally, I like the speed sockets. They have a really nice ridge for your nose so your nose doesn't get destroyed by the goggles. It will dig into your eye sockets a little bit, but they're molded to eye sockets better after some time. So the first couple wears, it's really gonna hurt. But after that, like, first initial wears, it gets 110 times better, I assure you. Don't buy Swedish goggles. They're cheap. They're $5. You can put them together, but you can also get hit in the face and have your eyeball pop out and warm up.
Are prescription goggles really a thing?
Yes, they are, and
Wow.
most of them are kind of unless they're Vanquishers, and Vanquishers are like the most basic of the basic Speedo competition goggles. I like them, but there's so many imitators of them that it's like, what's the point? The other thing that sucks about them too, and this is why I prefer the speed sockets, actual rubber grommet things that go around and attach to your eyes are molded onto the lens themselves. The ones for the Vanquishers can come off really, really easy, and also getting sand in those sucks. He's Ultra 7! It's the same suit, you just buy one. Do you like more or less purple? I can't swim. Let's buy a $300 suit. $200 suit. No, he won't. The suit's not gonna fix anything. He's just gonna eat Nice toe, though. I'll give you some push for some Showa jumping sounds. Drown. I've never seen somebody be able to do breaststroke underwater and not move forward.
Do the rules actually allow you to use a kickboard during a tournament? Or are they gonna look at you and laugh?
You'd be an idiot. Don't do that. Then again, Japanese swimming may be different from United States swimming. I don't know. While I was with USA Swimming, I didn't get to the point where I did international stuff. I didn't even make it to junior nats. Got close once, though.
Surprise! He can do butterfly.
Yeah, that is odd, but I mean, it's not too completely far-fetched. But the thing that is upsetting is the fact that why can't you do any of the other strokes? Usually you learn everything else before you start learning butterfly, but like how that if butterfly is one of the more difficult ones because it's
That's what I've heard.
yeah, it's hard to get your arms up and all the way around. It's hard to keep your feet together. It's hard to kick in the right kind of rhythm. It's hard to breathe. Like, it is by far the most difficult stroke, but once you get a hang of it, like, it's easy peasy lemon squeezy. Unfortunately, I never could quite get the hang of it because my body was always changing whenever I got a chance to actually do it. My mom, on the other hand, though, she still has records at University of Washington, and they don't have a women's team anymore, so I guess she has records forever.
That sounds like
Cool.
cool.
Good for mom. He's butter.
So he basically can't. He has no idea why he can just do butterfly, but he can just do butterfly.
I mean, I'm really surprised because he'd be huffing and puffing and dying.
Well, now the moment we've all been waiting for.
Swimming.
Swimming! We have our very first relay today.
God, that's gonna be gross. So are the swims actually like a minute and a half or so long? Or are they like drawn out like anime style? Dog, see a dentist. What the
We would all make jokes about how Australia turned your teeth sharp, apparently.
So something I think is interesting with those blocks, those actually started showing up a little bit more when I was getting out of swimming.
Mm-hmm.
But for the most part, whenever I would use the blocks, we would have horizontal bars, and sometimes we would have another bar behind it that we can use too.
Mm-hmm.
Some people here in the States just don't know how to dive off the thing. But after we started putting in the horizontal ones, for some reason, people started doing it better again.
Really?
It's really strange, but it's also just one of those things of like, how can you not, like, does this really matter compared to this? Like, whatever. Like, are they rotoscoping this, or did they?
I feel like I read somewhere that they tried really hard to like study like Japanese Olympic swimmers so that they could get the swimming as accurate as possible. But from what you've told me in years past, they didn't do a whole bunch. Like, I feel like I've seen side by sides of like the Olympic footage that they've used, but I don't know if they used it specifically for this because they do a lot of relays.
I mean, like, some of it seems weird. Like, that last shot just did not look right. Is he gonna really reach and dive back with that last stroke, or is he just gonna hit the wall? Okay, we don't even get to see what happens. Okay, no one to want to pull out. It's weird. He's doing this thing with his head where he's like kind of bobbing it, and it's not. Oh, and he's doing that. Okay, so like this is just like a Japanese breaststroker thing. Like, this is just something I never quite understood, and I never did it myself. When they put their hands back in the water, they kind of go down at a weird 45-degree angle. When you do that, though, it creates like a weird pocket in between your chin and your fingertips. Like, it's strange. Like, the way I would do it is I would always kind of like try to keep it as far forward with me as possible and try to streamline myself back down as much as I can. With them, they try to keep it just flat. It's strange. And not every Japanese swimmer does this, though. Yeah, it looks like they did that to everybody in that shot. Ew. Your hands never go that far wide out in the breaststroke. His butterfly's okay. They actually did a good job recording that. My only complaint would be the back of it. There's like a stop. There's a weird jerky stop when they breathe. Some people can get past it and they find a way to keep moving as they're breathing, but it's just something I've noticed with like most swimmers when I was a teenager. I guess it was just lots of stilted butterfly where they would stop when they're breathing. It's weird.
He's very upset.
Put your goggles on before you get on the block. Put your hair in your cat. Quit thinking about this as other. You got a swim to do. So you're gonna go flat touch with this too? Yeah, he's not rotating enough. He's doing like just like a weird shimmy thing, like God, I hate these turns. Don't dance on the walls. That's a dance on the wall. That's so dumb. Flip over, get your feet off the back, press off on your back, and rotate as you're swimming it. You go faster. God, what the f is that finish? That's garbage!
They won!
Why? If I lost to that, ooh man, I'd be hanging myself up by my goggle straps. There was another?
There was another.
What else was there?
Well, something that you might be
It's not free,
with.
right, though?
It's not free.
Okay, good. Oh, God.
I think this would be a good sport. Sport. For those who don't know, this is a
Golden Boy. This is actually my favorite episode of Golden Boy. It's really quiet. I've seen people like this show up at practices before.
That would be me if I tried to swim. More
No.
than likely.
Wow, you're like that shallow of water and you still... Also, look at this guy hauling ass. He's like walking on the water, bottom of the water, trying to move.
Oh, he went back for it.
Why? He lost his swim cap.
So, how do you like my swimming?
How do you like his swimming?
I like it better in the other clip he has with the swim instructor, because that was a thing that we did, but I'm not allowed to talk about that.
Okay, so what'd you think of Free, Dustin? If you had to give it a rating of realism and, you know, how they portrayed the swimming life, what rating would you give it? Like, on a scale of, like, F through A?
I'm gonna hold you back a year. I did not like that.
Give it a letter.
I just told you I'm holding them back a year.
So, like, a D?
They
or
failed every course.
What do you think? Okay, so let's. What do you think they did right?
They were in water.
They were in water. Well, they said they had the right brands of stuff.
There was some. I mean, not necessarily the exact same brands. Like the a logo for Arena looked really similar to the one they had right there. Other than that, that was pretty much it.
So as an actual swimmer, you would say that this is not an accurate depiction of swimming, and people shouldn't go into swimming thinking that this is what it's going to be like.
Right. I mean, that's the thing. Is like it's going to be no different than any other sport. You're going to have to learn techniques. You're going to learn how to do different things. You're not going to hit the water and like I didn't come out the pussy Michael Phelps in it, y'all. Like it's straight up. You have to learn the drills. You have to learn all these small things to figure. You have to learn your body, and nothing's harder than learning your body when you're a child growing, like literally physically growing. Because every single time you grow, things would change. The other issue too is like you can't just go into it thinking like, oh, I'm gonna come out of this being super fast. I'm gonna be an Olympian. You're probably gonna be garbage from the get-go, but that's okay because you can always get better. It always comes down to your technique, how fast you can move yourself, and just ultimately will. You can wish as hard as you can, but nothing's going to compare to you actually swimming as hard as you can. So, but swimming as hard as you can doesn't necessarily mean making short, choppy strokes, just trying to like flail yourself down the lane like we just saw in Golden Boy, but more so in the sense of like you are focusing that you're entering the water really, really far out. You're raising up your elbows high. You're bringing your hands all the way back out behind you and flicking your fingers so you can really, really, really get out there and then bring your elbow up high and bringing it back forward. You got to have all those things going in your same... It's like you turn your body into a locomotive. And in this, I don't feel like they were showing any of that. I feel like what they were showing was like, here, just start kicking. Eventually you'll get it, and then homeboy drowns. And it's like the first thing they didn't think of is, hey man, are you tightening all your muscles? Because if you tighten all your muscles, you'll start sinking.
Yeah,
that's basic. That is the first lesson you learn is floating. And the first thing they teach you when you're floating is relax. Did they ever tell that guy to relax in the first episode?
If they did, it would have been shown to you. And
I don't think they did.
I don't think they did either.
So, if you can't even get the first basic lesson for swimming right, you're failing. There was a reason why from the beginning I told you I didn't want this in the house. It had nothing to do with the fact it's the pretty boy anime. I can deal with the pretty boy anime being around. There's got to be something for the ladies to watch. It's another thing with the pretty boy anime is stupid. It can be stupid, and that's still acceptable too. But now it's stupid about something I actually know about. And the only thing people care about this show are the pretty boys that are swimming, not
gayness.
the sport that's actually being portrayed here.
They care about
And
the
if
gayness.
you watch just because you cared about swimming, you really, really cared about swimming, and you're a swimmer too, like, and you think any of this was okay as far as technique goes, you need a new coach.
Well, I appreciate you coming and
I don't.
experiencing this with me.
I'm out. I'm going swimming.
At 11 o'clock at night.
You see what I do? It's not wearing a real soldier mask. Okay, bomb. Stupid.
Thanks, guys, for watching. See you next time.